What up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and today we're looking at more of y'all's theories for Pokemon in 2024. We're talking about the Ruinous Pokemon, though. This is concerning what might be the new mythical Pokemon. A cool rumor going around is that it's the 5th Ruinous Pokemon, so we're looking at y'all's theories for that. Let's go. The gorilla is for sure the 5th ruined legend. Okay, so this post is actually about what the naming scheme for this 5th Ruinous could be. Hi, T-Tar. Here's proof that the Kintaro gorilla is the 5th ruined legend. Whoa, wait. Kintaro and the Ruinous together? That's a crazy theory. So the names of the ruined legends are Chinese names of things that the Pokemon is with the hyphen in between. So for example, Xian Pao is Zhan or sword, and Bao or leopard. Xian Bao. That's man's name in Chinese is literally sword leopard. You ready? Sword leopard.
见报
Qianbao. So this is like the main part of the theory here. I mean, we can come up with some cool names for the 5th Ruinous this way. So we can use the kin from Kintaro, and gorilla in Chinese is ttarsubmit. So with this information, my pitch for the new mythical's name is Da King. Oh, like kin for gold. Da for gorilla, king from the kin in Kintaro, when it sounds like king. We were joking around that he would have a Chinese-like name, but I didn't think to actually figure out what the name could be. We're gonna have fun with this. But yeah, so here's BST to get your gears turning. Da King, 80 HP, and a huge focus on attack and defense to total those mythical stats. So keep Da King in the back of your head for the days we have left until Pokemon Day. Okay, so Da King, cool idea, but it's a Chinese-Japanese hybrid, right? Da from Chinese, Da Xing Xing, and then King from the kin. It's got to be strictly Chinese. So we're going to have fun and try to come up with one. So gorilla is Da Xing Xing. Since that's too long, we can go with something like monkey, because, you know, Pokemon going to simplify stuff. Monkey in Chinese is ho. This ho is beautiful. It sounds exactly like what would be in one of these names. Xian Pao, Ting Yu, ho something, you know? So if Xian Pao was Xian, which is sword, and Pao for leopard, this is a gold gorilla. So it would be Ho, and then the word for Chinese of gold. Ho Jinzi. Woo! This got a powerful Jinzi Ho. You telling me wild Jinzi Ho appeared would not make you shake in your boots? We're so used to these 4 Ruinous Pokemon and they have such unique names that it'd be so cool to be introduced to a 5th one and have it follow the same scheme. It's kind of like when they added the 2 new Regis, right? It's cool to imagine something else joining it. Now you may be asking, how did these names translate over to Japanese? And thankfully the Ruinous Pokemon, they relatively have the same names in Japanese. Unlike Pichirun to Momowaro, that's what its name is. For these, for the most part, it's like the same name. Like for Xian Pao, it's instead Pao Xian. And then for Ting Lu, it's like Din Lu. Generally, we can have fun trying to figure out the name like this. So let's go to the next theory. The Ruinous Mythic. Hey T-Tar, I just watched your latest video and realized something. All of the Ruinous Pokemon were born from items. This is what's important, right? The sword is what the Xian is. So building off the king being the 5th Ruinous Pokemon, I speculate that the mythical is actually the king's crown. That makes sense. So pretty much, right? You got the beads. This is what the fire grows out of and forms the fish. The same with the grassy snail forming out of the tablets, right? The tablets is like the real essence of the creature, the negative emotion that then just takes the form using the elements. But it kind of feels like if you were to like seal the fish away, it would just revert back to being those beads. The fires would all go back into it. So in the same way, it's like the king's crown would be the very base of the 5th Ruinous Pokemon. So in the same way that Chi Yu absorbed envy and Ting Lu absorbed fear, this 5th crown would have absorbed all of the king's greed and turned into a new Pokemon, which is a cool way to go about it because it would remove the human having turned into the Pokemon and be something more like after the Polynesian King passes, he lives on immortalized in this hideous form. But because Pokemon doesn't really do that whole thing where a human turns into a Pokemon, generally, this kind of bridges the gap in a cool way. I mean, Pokemon sound like they were close to bridging that gap before. They'd be writing some weird stuff. Remember the Pokemon used to marry humans crap? They got far away from that as soon as they could. So now we got this cool idea, the King's Crown. We can plug this in to the previous theory. So if we're trying to figure out its name, we have Ho for monkey, Jinzi for gold. let's get rid of the Jinzi, right? Let's focus on the Ho. So we have Ho for gorilla. And if we look at something like crown, Wagwan?
王冠
Wangguan Ho? That's way too long. Now we need a different word for crown. Let's try to find one. Guan. Guan is actually what it is. Wangguan was adding king beside the crown letter. So what we want is just the second letter, the crown. So this translates better as Guan. So Ho Guan. I'll be honest, it does not sound that exciting. I'm about to go back to Ho Jinzi. Shem Pao. Sword leopard. Guan Ho. Honestly, anything will sound good once it becomes official. Guan Ho. You see it in official writing, an official Pokemon trailer revealing it, it instantly sounds cool. Think about it, Shem Pao didn't sound cool at first, it sounded like a dog. Guan Ho, that means crown monkey. Why? We just can't escape this monkey, can we? Even if it's not a monkey, the Guan would stay for crown. Guan. But you know what? We can figure out one more addition to this name. Let's go to the next theory. The 5th Ruinous Pokemon. Hi T-Tar, I really liked your idea about the 5th Ruinous Pokemon, but I felt like the gorilla didn't really fit the role. I know! No one wants a gorilla. Keep for leaving us with the most cryptic clues. But yeah, all the Ruinous Pokemon have Chinese names and items that correlate with them. So I've had an idea. Since this year is the year of the dragon, and Lunar New Year is celebrated heavily by China, there could be a dragon legendary as the 5th Ruinous Pokemon. That sounds a lot more badass and fitting for the king, right? That sounds empowering. Versus... But, you know, that kind of looked like a human, so it works out as like a hideous turned human. But the dragon would almost be like the king has built on his own greed and evolved into a form he likes. That he lusts more for greed and power through this. You know, a dragon is the symbol of that big obstacle you gotta conquer and all sorts of tales. And what do dragons have? They always got the treasure with them, right? So they're saying it could be a dragon legendary and the object would be a pearl in its mouth. You see, when doing a dragon dance, they mean in real life, the Chinese celebration, there is a person who has a ball on a stick that leads the dragon, and the dragon chases it. So I'll show you a video of it, so it makes more sense to y'all. So here we got the boy with the stick, right? Here's the big dragon that they're gonna make chase it. If you watch, he's pretty much leading at the front, and the dragon is completely chasing him. So that could be a cool concept, right? You got the king who turns into the dragon, and he continuously lusts for it. So he could have the pearl on him in his mouth, or usually I think the way these go is the pearl is in the dragon's hand. In my understanding, the pearl represents, well, it's sometimes shown as like this bawling sun, but it seems to represent fortune. This is a really fun post. I could go forever on this, but that is the ultimate thing that the 5th mythical could be if it's the Ruinous King, which is the way I like to name it, right? By calling it Ruinous King or Ruined King, it works in two ways. King is such an elevated status, so he's either embracing that he's the Ruinous King and it sounds like a strong title, or it sounds like the title for the king that was ruined. I like calling it that. But the ultimate thing it could be is a dragon. So we can leave the Ho behind if we switch it from monkey to dragon. So it'd be like dragon crown. Let's have some fun. Dragon in Chinese is often just long, like Shenlong, which is powerful sounding. So you would have Guanlong. Oh! That one sounded good. Guanlong. Shenpao Woshen, the leader. Well, not the actual leader. The king. Guanlong. Frick. You don't know, bro. Deep down, I'm hoping so bad that gorilla is pointless. He's just so unfun. He's so naked and normal looking. Like someone's kid's drawing accidentally got stuffed in the Game Freak files and they put it in the book. So we could have Guanlong, which would be crown dragon. Whew. Or we could have like jewel dragon, which would be Baoshi. Which if we use treasure, it's Bao. So it would be Baolong for treasure dragon. Wow. Anything ending with long starts to sound good. Alright, so those are our best guesses, right? If it's a monkey, we can do Guang Ho, which is a crown monkey. If it's a dragon though, Bao Long, Treasure Dragon, or Guan Long, Crown Dragon. Those sound much better. Y'all let me know in the comments. Make sure you shank that like button. So, it is February 14th now. We've talked about this a few times. February 15th, 2020 is when Zarude was teased as a silhouette. First time. Before they finally revealed it on February 27th officially. So you never know if they follow the same trend in anticipation of this movie. Maybe Pokemon wants to kickstart and start the prequel to the hype season by revealing this mythical Pokemon, and maybe we get the silhouette. Nothing is set in stone though, but it's fun to figure out just what it is because we do know there's one hidden Pokemon. You know, we're not too crazy thinking about this stuff. There is something waiting for us, and Ku called it a purposeful Pokemon. So that's really where all these ideas spin from. Anyhow, y'all let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.